Young bumped into a girl in a Lolita dress at the entrance of the residential complex. "You bumped into me. You have to take responsibility for me." She rubbed her knee, her tear mole glistening under the street lamp. Young thought it was just a typical scam, until... System, what's his favorability level now? Currently 25 out of 100. Please speed up the progress. I pushed open the door and saw Su shouting, talking to thin air. "Big brother? I was just talking in my sleep." At 1:15 a.m., Young dragged his exhausted body through the gate of the residential complex. 3 consecutive days of overtime had left his eyes bloodshot, and the project manager's roar still echoed in his head. "This bug must be fixed by tomorrow. Damn deadlines," he mumbled, rubbing his temples, completely oblivious to the figure that suddenly appeared in front of him. "Oh dear!" A soft cry accompanied a slight impact, and only then did Young realize he had bumped into someone. Looking down, he saw a petite girl in a pink Lolita dress sitting on the ground, rubbing her knee. "Are you okay?" Young quickly crouched down, an alarm blaring in his mind. Why would a Lolita suddenly appear in the complex in the dead of night? The girl looked up, and Young finally got a clear look at her face. A tiny face, big watery eyes, and a slightly pouting cherry-like mouth. She looked at most 16 or 17. Most striking was a tear mole under her left eye, which stood out particularly under the street lamp. "You bumped into me." The girl's voice was sickeningly sweet, yet carried an undeniable accusation. "It hurts so much." Yang's scalp instantly prickled. This scene looked exactly like a scam, but the other party was a seemingly harmless young girl, and he couldn't just walk away. "I'm sorry, I wasn't watching where I was going." He extended a hand to help her up. "Can you stand up? Do you need to go to the hospital?" The girl took his hand but suddenly revealed a cunning smile. "No need to go to the hospital, but you have to take responsibility." "Responsibility?" Young was bewildered. "My name is Su Xiaodang, and I'm homeless now." She stood up, patting the dust off her dress. "Since you bumped into me, you have to take full responsibility for me." Young realized he might have encountered the legendary honey trap and immediately took a step back. "Wait, I just accidentally touched you." "Look," Su Xiaodang suddenly lifted her skirt, revealing a bruise on her knee. "It's all purple." Young hastily averted his gaze, his ears burning. Don't just lift your skirt." "Why so shy?" Su Xiaodang tilted her head, a naive smile on her face. "Big brother, you wouldn't want to be irresponsible, would you?" Under the street lamp, her eyes gleamed with a strange light, and Young inexplicably felt a chill. But in an instant, she reverted to her harmless appearance. "Just one night." She held up a finger. "Just let me stay at your place for one night, and I'll leave tomorrow." Young looked around. The complex was deserted in the dead of night. It really wouldn't do to leave an underage girl here. "Just one night," he sighed. "You must leave tomorrow." "Yay!" Su Xiaodang cheered, bouncing happily behind him, no longer showing any sign of pain. The moment he opened his apartment door, Young regretted it. His bachelor pad was a mess, as if it had been bombed. Clothes piled on the sofa, takeout boxes and instant noodle bowls scattered on the coffee table, and several socks of unknown cleanliness on the floor. Wow. So full of life, Su Xiaodang, however, didn't mind at all. She walked in as naturally as if entering her own home, even kicking off her little leather shoes and jumping onto the sofa. "Wait, don't!" Young wanted to stop her, but it was too late. He could only watch helplessly as she sat cross-legged on his favorite t-shirt. "Big brother, how long have you lived alone?" she asked, looking around curiously. 3 years. Young stammered, scrambling to clear up the trash. "You sit tight. I'll get you a glass of water." In the kitchen, Young washed the cup while contemplating his life choices. He was a 27-year-old programmer. How on earth had he inexplicably brought home an underage girl? If anyone found out, he'd be socially dead. System prompt: target affection +5, current affection 15/100. Su Xiaotang's muttering suddenly came from the living room, making Yang's hand tremble, almost dropping the cup. "What system?" he poked his head out and asked. Su Xiaodang was playing on his phone, not even looking up. "Nothing much, I'm just playing a game." Yang skeptically handed over the glass of water. Su Xiaodang took a sip, then suddenly wrinkled her nose. "Big brother, Your house is so messy. Do you want me to help you clean it up? No. Before he could finish, Su Xiaodong had already hopped off the sofa and started tidying up efficiently. Her movements were astonishingly fast. In the blink of an eye, the clothes on the sofa were sorted and folded, and the trash on the coffee table was bagged. Wait, don't. Qiang tried to stop her, but found he couldn't get a word in edgewise. 5 minutes later, the once messy living room was completely transformed, and even the floor seemed to have been wiped clean. Done. Su Xiaodong clapped her hands, spun around proudly. How's that? Qiang was dumbfounded. Are you a professional cleaner? Hee, it's a secret, Su Xiaodong winked. As a reward, can I sleep in your bed? No, Qiang flatly refused. You sleep on the sofa, I sleep in the bed. Su Xiaodong's little face immediately fell. But the sofa is so hard. Then you can choose to sleep by the door, Qiang said sternly. All right, she pouted, then suddenly flashed a sly smile. Then, can Big Brother give me a goodnight kiss? What? Qiang almost choked on his own saliva. Just kidding, Su Xiaodong giggled. You look so funny when you blush. Qiang decided to ignore the little devil. He rummaged through the wardrobe, pulled out a blanket, and tossed it to her. Sleep. You're leaving first thing tomorrow morning. Yes, sir. Su Xiaodong playfully saluted, then wrapped herself in the blanket, only her big eyes peeking out. Good night, Big Brother. Qiang turned off the light, walked into the bedroom, and sighed in relief after locking the door. He took out his phone, hesitating whether to call the police, but then felt it was making a mountain out of a molehill. After all, she was just a homeless girl. He'd send her off tomorrow. In the middle of the night, Qiang was woken by faint rustling sounds. He held his breath and listened carefully, realizing the sound was coming from the living room. A thief? Or was that little girl up to something? Slipping quietly out of bed, Qiang pressed his ear against the door. System, how is the data collection on his daily habits progressing? It was Su Xiaodong's voice, but her tone was completely different from daytime, calm and mature. Basic data collection complete. Recommended adjustments begin with diet and routine, a mechanical female voice replied. Qi Yang's eyes widened. There was someone else in the room? But he had clearly only brought one person home. Too slow. Su Xiaotong's voice suddenly darkened. I need to speed things up. That Lin Yin sent him a message again today, didn't she? According to surveillance, it was merely work-related communication. Who knows? Su Xiaotong's voice carried an ominous undertone. Starting tomorrow, execute Plan B. A chill ran down Qi Yang's spine. Lin Yin was his company's product manager, and she had indeed sent him a project email today. How did this Su Xiaodong know about it? And what exactly was that system? He decided to pretend he knew nothing and would send this creepy girl away the moment day broke. However, early the next morning, as soon as Qiang opened his bedroom door, his nose was greeted by an enticing aroma. Good morning, Big Brother, Su Xiaodong, wearing an apron, poked her head out from the kitchen. I've made breakfast. On the dining table were golden brown fried eggs, perfectly toasted bread, fresh fruit salad, and a steaming cup of coffee. Where did you get the ingredients? Qiang asked, surprised. I went out and bought them this morning. Su Xiaodong untied her apron and revealed a cute smile. Quick, try it and see if it suits your taste. Qiang looked at the breakfast warily. What time did you go out? 6 o'clock. I saw you were sleeping soundly, so I didn't disturb you. She tilted her head. What's wrong? 6 o'clock? Qiang remembered hearing her talking in the living room at 3 in the morning. Taking a bite of the fried egg, Qiang was almost moved to tears. It was 10 times more delicious than any takeout he had eaten in the past 3 years. Is it delicious? Su Xiaodong rested her chin on her hands, her eyes sparkling as she looked at him. Qiang had to admit, it's very delicious. Then can I stay a few more days? She suddenly leaned closer, so close that Qiang could smell the sweet strawberry scent on her. I can cook, clean, and even give massages. Qiang nearly choked on his coffee. No, we agreed you'd only stay one night. But Su Xiaodong's eyes suddenly reddened. I really have nowhere to go. Her tears came instantly, large drops rolling down, leaving Qiang at a loss. Don't cry. Where are your family? They're all gone. She sobbed, her small hand tugging at Qi Yang's sleeve. Please, just 1 week. I promise I'll leave after a week. Qi Yang sighed. His rationality told him to refuse immediately, but looking at that tear-streaked face, he couldn't bring himself to say harsh words. Just 1 week, he finally conceded. You must leave after 1 week. That's great. Su Xiaodong instantly burst into a smile. Her mood changed startlingly fast. Big brother is the best. She lunged forward to hug Qi Yang, but he nimbly dodged her. I'm going to work. Qi Yang grabbed his briefcase and fled towards the door. You, don't mess with my things. Got it. Su Xiaodong waved sweetly. What do you want to eat tonight? Anything. Qi Yang practically fled in disarray. After closing the door, he leaned against the wall and let out a long sigh. Why did he always have the feeling he had invited a wolf into his house? All day, Qi Yang was absent-minded. He wrote code incorrectly several times and even zoned out during meetings. Qi Yang, are you okay? Lin Yin asked with concern during lunch break. You don't look so good. I'm fine, just a little tired. Qi Yang forced a smile. Lin Yin was the company's famous beautiful product manager. Qi Yang had secretly been in love with her for a long time, but never dared to confess. Looking at her exquisite makeup and elegant demeanor at that moment, and then thinking of the quirky little girl at home, Qi Yang only felt his head ache even more. Oh, by the way, I've sent you the requirements document for the new project to your email. Take a look when you have time, Lin Yin said with a smile. Okay, I'll check it when I get back. On his way home from work, Qi Yang kept pondering Su Xiaodong's identity. What was the system she mentioned? Why did she know about Lin Yin? And all that talking to herself. Opening the door, the chaotic scene he had imagined did not appear. Conversely, the apartment was tidier than ever, and the air was filled with the inviting aroma of food. Welcome home, Su Xiaodong bounced out of the kitchen, still in her Lolita dress, but with a new pink and blue hair tie. Dinner will be ready soon. Qi Yang cautiously looked around. You didn't touch my computer, did you? No, she blinked innocently. I only cleaned and cooked. Dinner consisted of braised pork ribs, stir-fried seasonal vegetables, and seaweed and egg drop soup. Each dish was a feast for the eyes, nose, and palate. Qi Yang had to admit, having someone cook at home felt really good. After dinner, Su Xiaodong even proactively washed the dishes, humming a song as she busied herself in the kitchen. Qi Yang took the opportunity to check his computer and found that not only had it not been touched, but several tricky coding problems he'd been stuck on were actually solved. Did you do this? He asked Su Xiaodong, who had just stepped out of the kitchen in disbelief. What is it? She tilted her head, looking bewildered. My code. The errors have all been fixed. Wow. Does Big Brother's computer fix its own code? That's amazing. Su Xiaodong clapped exaggeratedly, her acting so over the top it was infuriating. Qi Yang narrowed his eyes. Stop pretending. It's just the two of us here. It really wasn't me. She leaned closer, then suddenly reached out and rubbed Qi Yang's brow. Don't frown, you'll get old. The touch was warm and soft. Qi Yang momentarily forgot to pull away. I'm going to take a shower. Su Xiaodong seized the chance to slip away. No peeking, okay? Who'd want to peek? Qi Yang yelled, his face turning red. After the sound of running water started in the bathroom, Qi Yang checked his computer again and found a new folder on the desktop, named Gift for Big Brother. He opened it to find a complete solution for his current project, along with optimization suggestions. Even more terrifying, the coding style was identical to his own, as if he had written it himself. This is... A chill ran down Qi Yang's spine. System prompt, target favorability plus 10, current favorability 25/100. Su Xiaodong's cheerful voice came from the bathroom. Keep up the good work. At 6 in the morning, Qi Yang was awakened by a soft singing voice. Big Brother, the sun's shining on your bottom. Su Xiaodong was leaning by the bed, hands cupping her chin, her pink hair tied brushing Qi Yang's face. Qi Yang sat up abruptly, nearly bumping into her. How did you get in? He distinctly remembered locking the bedroom door. The door wasn't properly locked. Su Xiaodong blinked her innocent large eyes. Breakfast is ready. It'll get cold if you don't eat now. Qi Yang grabbed his phone and saw it was an hour before his alarm was set to ring. It's only 6. Early to bed, early to rise. Makes a person healthy, wealthy, and wise. Su Xiaodong yanked his blanket off. Hurry and get ready. Hey! Qi Yang hastily grabbed a corner of the blanket, his ears burning. Don't just pull off a man's blanket. Su Xiaodang giggled. What are you shy about? I won't peek. But then she deliberately stared at his lower half, clad only in underwear. Qiang grabbed a pillow and threw it at her. Su Xiaodang deftly dodged it, bouncing out of the room. If you're not out in 5 minutes, I'll help you wash. In the bathroom, Qiang found the toothpaste already squeezed onto the brush, the towel neatly hung, and even his razor charged. A heart was drawn on the mirror with lipstick, with Big Brother is the most handsome, written below it. This girl. He helplessly wiped off the heart, but a smile involuntarily curved his lips. On the breakfast table were golden egg pancakes, fresh fruit salad, and steaming hot soy milk. Try it. Su Xiaodang watched him expectantly. I woke up at 5 to make it. Qiang took a bite of the egg pancake. It was crispy on the outside, tender on the inside, and fragrant. Delicious. Yay! Su Xiaodang clapped her hands happily. System notification. Target favorability +5. What system? Qiang immediately latched onto the keyword. Su Xiaodang covered her mouth, her eyes darting around. SSS, I hope you like it. Qiang narrowed his eyes, but didn't press further. There were too many mysteries about this girl. Returning home after work, Qiang found a small pink bag hanging on his apartment doorknob. What's this? He mumbled, opening it. Inside was a handmade cookie shaped like a computer keyboard, with "You've worked hard, Big Brother" written on it in frosting. Pushing the door open, a sweet scent of baking wafted towards him. Su Xiaodang was wearing an apron, her face still dusted with flour, as she stood on tiptoes to take a tray of cookies out of the oven. You're back. She turned, flashing a brilliant smile. I baked cookies. Qiang looked at the kitchen, full of flour and frosting, his temples throbbing. My kitchen. Don't worry, I'll clean it all up. Su Xiaodang hopped over and popped a cookie into his mouth. Try it. The sweet, buttery taste melted in his mouth, and Qiang had to admit it was the best cookie he'd ever eaten. How is it? She leaned closer, her nose almost touching his face. Not bad. Qiang turned his face away, his ears feeling hot. Just not bad. Su Xiaodang puffed out her cheeks. I researched recipes all day. She turned and took a small cake from the fridge. What about this one? The cake was intricately decorated with code patterns and a small computer, with "To the best programmer" written beside it. Qiang looked at the professional-level dessert in surprise. You learned baking before? It's a secret, Su Xiaodang winked mysteriously. But if Big Brother gives me a kiss, I'll tell you. Don't even think about it. Qiang blushed and stepped back. Stingy, Su Xiaodang pouted, but then suddenly leaned in and quickly pecked his cheek. Then me kissing you is the same thing. You. Qiang covered the spot she'd kissed, frozen in place. System notification. Target heartbeat accelerated. Favorability +10. Su Xiaodang cheered, running back to the kitchen. Today's a big harvest. Qiang stood rooted to the spot, his heartbeat indeed abnormally fast. What on earth was going on with this girl? Saturday morning, Qiang finally got a sleep in. However, Big Brother, wake up. Su Xiaodang jumped directly onto his bed, bouncing on him. The sun's already high in the sky. Get off. Qiang buried his face in his pillow. I want to sleep on the weekend. No. Su Xiaodang pulled back his duvet. An early start makes for a good day. A late start ruins it. Who taught you such nonsense? Qiang reached out to grab back his duvet, but felt something soft. He looked down to see his hand resting on Su Xiaodang's calf, clad in white stockings. Both exclaimed simultaneously, and Qiang pulled his hand back as if shocked. Big Brother, you perv. Su Xiaodang covered her face, but peeked at his reaction through her fingers. I didn't mean to, Qiang hastily explained. You're the one who climbed onto my bed. Then, you have to take responsibility. Su Xiaodang suddenly pounced, sprawling all over him. Marry me. Stop fooling around. Qiang fumbled, trying to push her off, but unsure where to touch. Get off. No, Su Xiaodang clung to him like an octopus. Unless you promise to go on a date with me. What date? Today. We'll go to the amusement park. Su Xiaodang's eyes sparkled. I've planned everything. Qiang finally noticed she was wearing an especially adorable light blue dress today, with her hair carefully styled into twin braids. I don't. If you don't go, I'll tell the police you're abducting an underage girl. Su Xiaotong's expression suddenly turned dangerous. You. Qi Yang's eyes widened. Just kidding, she reverted to her sweet smile, nuzzling against his chest. Please? Just for one day? Faced with that irresistibly cute little face right in front of him, Qiang found himself nodding against his better judgment. Yay! Su shouting cheered as she hopped off the bed. System prompt. Progress has surpassed 30%. What progress? Qiang immediately pressed. Nothing. Su shouting skipped out of the room. Hurry and change. We leave in an hour. Qiang stared at the closed door and rubbed his temples helplessly. He was becoming more and more certain. The girl he'd picked up wasn't just some ordinary girl, but a little devil. At the amusement park entrance, Qiang regretted his decision. Let's go back, he said, turning to leave. No. Su Xiaodong clung tightly to his arm. We already bought the tickets. Under the curious gazes of passers-by, Qiang had no choice but to relent. Fine, but just 3 rides. 10, 5, 8. Deal. Without waiting for his response, she dragged him through the gates. The first ride was the carousel. I want that white horse. Su Xiaodong excitedly pointed at an ornately decorated steed. You go ahead. I'll wait here. Together. She pulled him into the line insistently. Couples are supposed to ride together. We're not. Before he could finish, the staff member cheerfully waved them over. This way, lovebirds. Blushing, Qiang was pushed onto the carousel, where Su Xiaodong insisted they share the same horse. Hold on tight. She leaned naturally into his arms, the faint scent of strawberries drifting from her hair. As the carousel began to spin, Su Xiaodong raised her hands gleefully. So hi, big brother. Hold me tight, I'm scared. Qiang sighed, but loosely wrapped an arm around her waist, though his heartbeat betrayed him, speeding up uncontrollably. Smile. Su Xiaodong turned and suddenly snapped a selfie. To commemorate our first date. This isn't a date. He protested weakly. The roller coaster, haunted house, and bumper cars followed, with Su Xiaodong enjoying every moment. To his surprise, Qiang found himself gradually having fun too. The final ride was the Ferris wheel. As the sun set, their cabins slowly ascended, offering a panoramic view of the park. They say couples who kiss at the top of the Ferris wheel will stay together forever, Su Xiaodong remarked suddenly. Qiang nearly choked. I told you we're not. I know. She gazed out the window, her profile soft in the golden light. Just saying. After a pause, she asked quietly, Big brother, what do you think of me? Do you like me? She turned to him, her gaze unusually serious. Qiang faltered. This mischievous, strangely skilled, sometimes adorable, sometimes dangerous girl. Had he really? Time's up. The staff member's voice snapped him out of his thoughts. Back on the ground, Su Xiaodong seemed to have forgotten her question, bouncing back to her lively self. Hungry? Let's get something to eat. She took his hand casually, interlacing their fingers. Qiang looked down at their joined hands and didn't pull away. System prompt. Target did not reject physical contact. Affection plus 15. Su Xiaodong muttered under her breath, a triumphant smile curling her lips. Late at night, thunder jolted Qiang awake. Outside, torrential rain poured down and lightning lit up the entire room. He got up to close the window, but heard faint sobs coming from the living room. Su Xiaodong. He pushed open the living room door and found a small figure curled up on the sofa. Big brother. Su Xiaodong looked up, tears staining her face. The thunder. It's so scary. Qiang had never seen her look so vulnerable. His heart instantly softened. You're afraid of thunder? Su Xiaodong nodded, like a startled little animal. Another flash of lightning streaked across the sky, and she covered her ears in fright. It's all right. Qiang hesitated for a moment, then sat down beside her. It's just a natural phenomenon. See, could you hold me? Su Xiaodong requested softly, completely different from her usual bold self. Qiang hesitated for a moment, but still gently pulled her into his embrace. Su Xiaodong's body was cold and trembling, like a drenched kitten. So even you get scared sometimes. Qiang couldn't help but tease. I'm a girl too. Su Xiaodong buried her face in his chest, her voice muffled. The thunder gradually receded, but Su Xiaodong still clung tightly to him. The thunder has quieted down. Qiang reminded her. Just a little longer. she whispered. Big brother is so warm. Chi-Yang reluctantly let her hold him, his fingers unintentionally brushing against her hair, which felt soft and smooth. Actually, Su Xiaodang suddenly spoke. Chi-Yang held his breath, waiting for her to continue. I'm bound to a conquest system, she said softly, and my mission is to make you fall in love with me. Chi-Yang's heart skipped a beat. So, all of this was a mission. It was at first. Su Xiaodang looked up and met his eyes in the darkness. But it's not anymore. I truly. A flash of lightning illuminated her face, and Chi-Yang saw an expression of seriousness he had never seen before. I like you, big brother. Not because of the system, but because you are you. Chi-Yang's mind went blank. This mischievous little girl, who always caused trouble, now made his heart pound like thunder. You don't have to answer now. Su Xiaodang leaned back against his chest. Just don't make me leave. The sound of the rain gradually lessened, and even breathing sounds came from his embrace. Chi-Yang looked down and saw that Su Xiaodang was already asleep, with tears still clinging to her eyelashes. He gently picked her up and carried her back to the sofa, but not before pressing a light kiss to her forehead. System prompt. Target favorability has exceeded 80%. Mission almost complete. Su Xiaotang's lips curved into a slight smile in her sleep. The sound of the rain outside gradually lessened, leaving only the soft drip of water from the eaves. Chi-Yang looked down at Su Xiaodang, who was asleep in his arms, tears still clinging to her eyelashes, sparkling like tiny stars in the warm glow of the bedside lamp. He gently brushed aside the stray hairs from her forehead, his fingertips registering a silken touch. This little imp, who was always so boisterous, was so quiet and beautiful when asleep. Su Xiaodang let out a soft hum in her sleep, unconsciously burrowed deeper into his embrace, her small nose brushing against the fabric of his sleepwear on his chest. Chi-Yang instantly stiffened. The girl's warm breath came through the thin cotton sleepwear, carrying the sweet scent of strawberry toothpaste. His heart pounded so loudly he could hear it himself, terrified of waking her. Carefully, he tried to pull away, but Su Xiaodang, still asleep, suddenly grabbed his waist. Don't go, she mumbled indistinctly, her voice as soft as cotton candy. Big brother. Chi-Yang instantly froze. Moonlight streamed in through a gap in the curtains, falling on Su Xiaotang's slightly parted lips, which shone with a dewy luster. System prompt. Conquest target favorability reached 100%. Mission complete. Su Xiaodang suddenly uttered this sentence clearly in her dream, a satisfied smile playing on her lips. Chi-Yang was taken aback, then chuckled. This girl, even in her dreams, is thinking about her conquest mission. As if by an impulse, he lowered his head and gently kissed her forehead. Good night, Tang Tang. The words had barely left his lips when Su Xiaotang's eyes suddenly opened, shining like two jewels in the darkness. Gotcha, she announced triumphantly, without a hint of sleepiness. Big brother kissed me secretly. Chi-Yang's ears instantly burned. You were pretending to sleep? If I didn't pretend to sleep, how would I know if you'd sneak a kiss? Su Xiaodang propped herself up, one strap of her pink nightgown slipping down, revealing her fair shoulder. But I'm very happy with the outcome. She leaned closer to Chi-Yang's face, so close he could count her eyelashes. So, big brother admits he likes me? Chi-Yang's Adam's apple bobbed. His gaze uncontrollably fell on her lips, so close to him. Silence means yes, Su Xiaodang, pushing her luck, straddled his lap, cupping his face with both hands. The system says my favorability rating is 100% now. So big brother is my boyfriend. What system? Chi-Yang's words were cut short by a sudden kiss. Su Xiaotang's lips were incredibly soft, carrying the sweet scent of strawberries. The kiss was clumsy yet passionate, as headstrong as she was. Chi-Yang's mind went blank. When he came to his senses, he found he had already turned the tables, pinning her beneath him, one hand unconsciously tangled in her hair. Su Xiaodang let out a kitten-like whimper, yet she didn't push him away. Instead, she blushed and wrapped her arms around his neck. Big brother is amazing. That sentence jolted Chi-Yang awake. He awkwardly propped himself up. Wait, you're still young. I'm 22. Su Xiaoding puffed out her cheeks and pulled out her ID card. I just look young. Qi Yang's eyes widened as he looked at the date of birth on the ID. She was indeed an adult. So, Su Xiaoding gave a mischievous smile and suddenly pulled him forcefully back onto the bed. No more excuses, right? She nimbly flipped over, straddling Qi Yang, her pink nightgown spreading out like petals. Now I'm going to complete the final step of the conquest. Wait, what final? Qi Yang's words were again cut short by a kiss. Outside the window, the last drop of rain fell from the eaves. Inside, two hearts drew closer in the darkness, until there was no space between them. System notification. Mission perfectly completed, Su Xiaoding whispered between kisses. Big brother, good night. I can't bear to leave you. The morning sun streamed through the curtains onto the bed. Qiang groggily reached out beside him, but his hand met empty air. He snapped his eyes open. He was alone in the bed. Usually at this time, Su Xiaoding would already be bouncing in to wake him up. Tang Tang. Qiang called out, but there was no reply. An ominous feeling surged within him. He rolled out of bed and searched every room. No pink figure, no scent of breakfast, not even her small leather shoes were there. Only a note and a delicate small box lay on the dining table. Qi Yang's hand trembled slightly as he picked up the note. Dear Big Brother, by the time you read this letter, I will have already returned to my original world. My conquest mission is complete, and the system initiated a forced teleportation. I'm sorry for keeping the system and the mission a secret from you all this time. The box contains a gift I left for you. Don't miss me, don't wait for me. But if you truly want to see me, open the box. Forever yours, Tang Tang. There were several water stains on the note, like tear marks. Qi Yang's heart felt as if an invisible hand had clenched it. Trembling, he opened the small box. Inside was a crystal-clear candy, and beside it, a tiny U-disc. The moment he touched the candy, a holographic projection suddenly popped up, and Su Xiaodong's 3D image appeared in the air. Hi, Big Brother. Su Xiaodong in the image smiled and waved, but her eyes were red. If you're seeing this, it means I've gone back. Qiang reached out to touch her, but only grasped at air. First, I have to confess everything, the image continued. I'm from another parallel world, where everyone is bound to various systems. My mission was to conquer the designated target, which is you. Success would earn me a reward. Failure would result in punishment. The image paused, as if organizing her words. At first, I just saw you as a mission target. But somewhere along the way, I genuinely fell in love with you. I loved the helpless look you had when I teased you. I loved the blissful expression on your face when you ate the food I made. I loved your stubbornness, clearly moved, but refusing to admit it. Qi Yang's vision blurred. He had never so clearly realized. He had long since fallen in love with this mischievous girl. The system stipulated that I must return immediately after completing the mission. I fought against it, even thought about giving up the reward. But rules are rules. Su Xiaodong in the image lowered her head. Inside the U-disc is everything I could leave behind, my photos, our memories, and my love for you. She looked up, and tears finally fell. Qiang, I love you. Not because of the system, but because you are worthy of being loved. The image began to flicker, seemingly about to end. All right, Su Xiaodong suddenly remembered something, wiping away her tears and revealing her familiar sly smile. If you also want to see me, eat that candy. It will lead you to me, but it might be a bit dangerous. The image leaned closer, as if to kiss him. The choice is yours, Big Brother. Whatever decision you make, I'll... Before she could finish, the image vanished. The room was terribly quiet, leaving only Qi Yang standing in the sunlight, holding the magical candy in his hand. In the days that followed, the apartment was stiflingly quiet. Qi Yang tried to live as usual, but every corner reminded him of Su Xiaodong's presence. Her favorite pink bowls and chopsticks in the kitchen, the rabbit plushie she often hugged on the sofa, the strawberry-scented shampoo she left behind in the bathroom. He even started having auditory hallucinations, always feeling as though he could hear that familiar Big Brother. At the company, Lin Yin noticed his abnormality. What's wrong with you lately? She asked with concern during lunch break. You seem out of it. Nothing. Qi Yang forced a smile. I just lost something very important. A girlfriend? Lin Yin asked shrewdly. Qi Yang didn't deny it, which made Lin Yin raise an eyebrow in surprise. Everyone in the company knew Chiang was a perennial bachelor. That night, back home, Chiang finally mustered the courage to plug in the U-disc. There were several folders inside, named Our Memories, Letter to Big Brother, and How to Find Me. He first clicked on the Our Memories folder. Inside were countless photos and videos Su Xiaodong had secretly taken. His profile while sleeping, his flustered appearance when cooking, his helpless expression when she teased him. Even a moment he stared blankly out the window on the Ferris wheel at the amusement park. Each photo was accompanied by Su Xiaodong's playful captions. Big Brother's eyelashes are so long, I wonder if a secret kiss won't be noticed. The omuris I made today was a success. Watching him clean his plate gives me such a sense of accomplishment. He clearly wanted to go to the amusement park, but pretended to be unwilling. How adorable this man is. Chi Yang's vision blurred again. He had never thought that in that girl's eyes, he was seen this way. Opening the mail folder, he found Su Xiaotong's daily diary entries inside. Day 1, successfully infiltrated the target's home. But this big dummy actually believed my acting. I'm a bit worried about his IQ. Day 7, made his favorite braised pork ribs. Seeing his eyes light up, my heart beats so fast. This isn't right. I'm just performing a mission. Day 15. Today, I secretly kissed him, and the system actually counted it as a valid conquest move. Hee, found a bug. Day 30. What to do? I've truly fallen in love with him. The system says the mission is about to be completed, but I don't want to leave at all. The last diary entry read, Final day. I have to go. Chiang, if you see this, please remember, no matter how many worlds separate us, I will find you. So, you must also come find me. Chiang closed the computer, walked to the window, and looked at the night sky. Where was that girl who was always clamoring for his attention now? Was she? All right. He took out the candy he always carried with him. It was translucent and sparkling in the moonlight. It might be a little dangerous. Su Xiaotong's words echoed in his ears. Chiang clutched the candy and made a decision. Following the instructions on the USB drive, Chiang made thorough preparations, took leave, packed his luggage, and even wrote a will. The method was simple. At exactly midnight, eat the candy while thinking of Su Xiaodong's face. The phrase, it might be a little dangerous, made him prepare for the worst. But compared to a world without her, any danger was nothing to fear. At 23:59, Chi Yang stood in the center of the living room, his palms sweating. Tang Tang, he softly called out, as if this could give her courage. As the clock struck midnight, he swallowed the candy without hesitation. Instantly, a sharp pain swept through his entire body, as if every cell was being torn apart and reassembled. Chi Yang collapsed to his knees, countless bizarre images flashing before his eyes. Stars, tunnels, shattered spacetime. Just as he thought he was about to die, the pain suddenly ceased. Hey, are you all right? A familiar voice came. Chiang struggled to raise his head and saw a face he had longed for day and night. Su Xiaodong was squatting in front of him, her brows furrowed with worry. But something was different. Her eyes were no longer innocent and playful, but held wariness and unfamiliarity. Which district are you from? Why are you unconscious in my safe house? Su Xiaodong questioned, even holding a small knife in her hand. Chi Yang's heart sank. She didn't recognize him. He struggled to stand up and looked around. This was a crude shelter. The walls were covered with various wanted posters and mission slips. Most striking was a semi-transparent panel in the corner, which displayed, Current mission, survive 30 days. Reward, 1,000 points. Failure penalty, death. Are you a new player? Su Xiaodong put away her knife, but still kept her distance. Never mind. You don't look like a bad person. Rest for a bit and then leave. I don't harbor strangers here. Chiang finally understood. This was Su Xiaodong's original world, a cruel world. And the person before him was the original Su Xiaotong, who hadn't yet received her conquest mission. Thank you, he said hoarsely. My name is Chiang. Su Xiaodong. She briefly introduced herself and turned to organize supplies. Don't expect me to take care of you. The weak don't last long in this world. Chiang watched her busy back, his heart aching. The girl who used to sweetly call him Big Brother, cook for him, and pester him to go to the amusement park, was now so cold towards him. But he didn't give up. If this was the price to find her, he was willing to start from scratch. Need any help? Qi stepped forward. Su Xiaodang eyed him suspiciously. What can you do? Programming. And I'm very good at eating your cooking, he blurted out. Su Xiaodang was stunned. How did you know I can cook? Qi realized he'd let something slip and quickly tried to mend it. Just a guess. You look like someone who's very good at cooking. What a strange person. Su Xiaodang shook her head, but handed him a pack of compressed biscuits. Here, eat this. It's on me. Qi took the biscuits, his fingertips accidentally brushing her hand. In an instant, Su Xiaodang recoiled her hand as if shocked, and a suspicious blush rose on her cheeks. System notification. Potential capture target discovered. The system on her suddenly spoke, beginning scan. Su Xiaodang looked at Qi in surprise. Wait. The system says you're an S-rank capture target? How is that possible? Qi smiled, a mad glint in his eyes. Perhaps we were destined to meet, Tang Tang. Now you can never run away again. Don't call me Tang Tang, she protested, blushing, but her gaze was no longer as guarded. Outside the window, the moon of this strange world slowly rose. This time, he would never let go.